All right. Good evening, you guys. It's nice to see so many of your faces on here. If you're able to turn your cameras on, we would love that too. I like to see your faces. But if you do not know me, my name is Brooke Kleeberger. I am a diamond with Plexus. Went diamond back in March of last year and just super excited to share with you guys tonight. We have a really good lineup for you. I am going to share last. I get the honors of talking about collagen after all the amazing other speakers are done. I get to fill your cups by talking about our product collagen. But before me, I'm going to introduce to you our first speaker. Him and his wife, Cassie, are both diamonds with Plexus. Kyle has done a lot of trainings for Plexus. We got to listen to him when we went to Florida for Leadership Excellence in November, and it was amazing. I know that he could speak for days, literally, but he has so much wisdom to share with us, and I'm just really grateful for him stepping in tonight to share with us just a tidbit of so much of his knowledge. Also, they have more kids than we do, so that right there is like amazing, and I really appreciate that you're taking time out. I know it's probably dinner time and things are chaotic for you, so I really appreciate you being with us, Kyle, and I'm going to pass it over to you.
No, thank you, Brooke. It was just been amazing to get to know you, meeting you for the first time, I think, when we were over in Kona and then in Florida, Leadership and Excellence. So I am excited to be able to share with you tonight. And yes, after I'm done with this, I'm running out to take my 14-year-old to basketball practice. So life is always going here. But what's really cool, and I'm real quick, I'm going to change my view just a second so I can see everybody's fun faces. And so when I was talking to Brooke, when she said, "Hey, would you mind coming on?" I was like, the Brooke Kleeberger is going to ask me to come on. Super nervous about that because she's awesome. She's a celebrity, little rock star over here in Plexus, and just the kindest person that you have ever met. And so I know you have a good leader in Brooke. But I said, what do you want to talk about? And the topic of leadership came up, and I want to talk about leadership and how to replicate leadership within your team. And I know when I say that, you're going, but Kyle, like I have like 3 people on my team, or I've got 30 people on my team, or I have 3,000 on my team, but I don't feel like a leader. Like that's for other people. That's for the Emilys of the world and the Brooks of the world. That's not for me. Can I tell you, when the first person signed up for your team, you became a leader. I don't care if it was Aunt Susie, who you see once a year at family reunions, you became a leader. You became a steward of her health, right? That's what your job is now. Like you became a leader, and they trusted you way before they ever trusted Plexus. Like online selling, direct sales, social selling, whatever you want to call it. My mother-in-law's name's Susie. There you go. Online sales, direct sales, social selling, it's not weird anymore. It's very normative. COVID kind of ushered us all into where that Aunt Susie, she's also got an MLM that she's pushing on. She's trying to, sell nails and stuff like that. Like we get it. It's not weird to be sold to anymore on the online forum. And so when you are out there and you have this one person or this group of people sign up and become part of your team, if you're doing your IPAs, you're doing your reach outs, everything like that, you're a leader. You're a leader. You don't earn that position by just simply, posting, but by someone actually trusting you. And so you have to get out of the mindset that I have to reach a certain rank. I have a certain amount of people on my team. If you begin to establish yourself as a leader and have that mindset from the very get-go, your leadership is just going to increase as it comes. And so I know some of you are like, well, I'm of this age bracket, or I live in this place or whatever. Well, you're going to attract people that I can't attract to our team, that Brooke can't attract, that Emily can't attract. Like you're going to get people on your team that look like you, talk like you, act like you, that have your same beliefs and goals, and they're looking for you to lead. And so we have to stop living in the shadows of those who've gone before us. We have to stop playing small and understand that you have been gifted as a leader, and they trusted you before they trusted Plex. They could have chosen any MLM. They could choose in any network marketing company. They could choose within Plexus to be on anybody's team, but they chose you because they have a relationship with you, and they decided to trust you and take the gamble and try this thing we call Plexus. So that's first off of that. Now, Brooke, holding to my time, just start waving your arms. I know it's 10, 10, 10. Okay. When you finally have that mindset, or you begin to develop that mindset, you need to create an environment of leadership. Okay. And what I mean by that is that you have an invisible culture within your team. You may not even know it, but you have an invisible culture within your team. And if you don't establish the culture, somebody else is going to do it for you. You're going to have some level 5, come on this team that's, a conspiracy theorist from Sarah, from your, second cousin, Sarah Ward. Your second cousin comes on here that nobody's heard from years and decides to try the pink drink, and all of a sudden is on your team, and they're dictating the culture of your team, and you're not really careful or liking what's happening there because you never established leadership culture to begin with. So you have to create an environment. Well, what does that look like? Well, you now have to have not just a why and a vision for who you are and what you're doing in this industry, what you're doing for Plexus, what your why is, what your goals are, but you have to have a vision for your team. You have to have a vision for your team. You have to have a mission statement. You have to have values. Like, what is it going to feel like? I want you to do something for a minute. Like when you do your own team calls one of these days, or if you do it now, when you close your eyes, who do you want on there? Who do you want to show up? What do you want the feeling to be? And some of us, we're going to be drivers, right? We're going to get there like, let's go, ladies. We're going to go. Let's power hour right now. I don't care if it's midnight. Here we are. We're going to message everybody. Some of you are going to be like that, and you're going to attract people like that, and it's going to be awesome. You're going to kick butt. You're going to take names. It's going to be great. Some of you are going to be like, hey, everybody, how we feeling? Everybody good? You were loved. You were worthy. That's fantastic too. It doesn't matter, but as long as it's you and authentic to you, you're going to attract those people and create an environment and culture of leadership, and you're going to create boundaries. You're going to create boundaries, and when somebody steps out of that boundary, you won't have to tell them. Your team will. Cassie and I have established a culture where we're not negative on our team pages. We're not negative in our message chat. And we have, Sally Sue coming here, and she's brand new. And she's like, well, I really don't like the taste of, or the back office that somebody else will go, hey, you need to delete your comment, or we're going to delete it for you because this is not how we roll here. Like that, we don't have to be the bulldogs because we've established a culture in our team of leadership that we will be realistic, but we're also going to be positive. We're going to be solution oriented. That's part of our values. So establish a culture. It's really, 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 really important. Next is equipping. You got to give leadership away. You have to. Okay. You have to give leadership away. If you're going to run an IPA challenge this month, find a gold, find a senior gold, find a senior silver, and say, hey, I want you to run this with me. I want to show you. Right? Leaders are not developed by listening solely. Leaders are not listening by you just training, but by actually doing. And they may be scared to death, but so were you when you ran your first one. When Brooke plucked you up and said, can you lead our team call tonight? You're freaking out. Like, you have to allow people to have opportunities to lead. You develop a system, you develop a culture, and you give it away. You give it away. Because you don't, and I know some of our perfectionists on here, you're white knuckling right now as we speak, but Kyle, you don't understand. If I don't do all the things, then it's never going to get done. And here's the thing. Your leader in training will never be able to lead their own team if you don't give them opportunities to lead your team. It's just ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. Do you think they're magically going to wake up one day and just go, oh, you know what? I think I am a leader. No, they're not, because we didn't. But somebody said, hey, can you lead this for me? Or do you do this team call or do this? And it may be simple. Just lead a power half hour. Maybe that's it. Okay. And that's mostly just you being quiet, staring down on typing. I mean, like that's not hard, right? But we get them out of their comfort zone so they can fly. All right. So you have to equip them. And then finally, the last thing I'll say, and then I'll be done, is that you need to get this idea that you have to be perfect in your leadership. Hear me. If you hear anything in this last 10 plus minutes, your team doesn't need you to be perfect. They just need you to be present. And in fact, when you're raw, when you're vulnerable, when you admit your mistakes, when you own up to the things that you didn't do well, or maybe you didn't make that you haven't contacted anybody about the 3-way message yet. Maybe you were late to a team, whatever it is. People don't want you to be perfect. They just want you to be present. Because everyone on your team is not being asked on a weekly basis on the world around them, how are you doing? How can I serve you? How can I help? How's it going? That's just not normal. It's just not normal. We'll make it normal. Make it normal. But I don't have all the answers. That's okay. Don't be perfect. Just be present. See your team not just as lifeless bodies to and fro just to build the machine and build your points. They're actually souls that need mending. They're people and hearts that need encouraging. and they just want you to be present. We are built for community. We need community, and your leaders are going to soar if they just see that you're present and not perfect. Because if you try to be perfect, you're setting them up for failure, because you're setting an example they cannot replicate. So you mess up on an IPA challenge and you forgot to make the last post. You've messed up on a messenger event and you forgot to do, if you've dropped a post, just say, hey, Miranda, I'm sorry. Like, I totally screwed that one up. And Miranda's like, well, I'm off this team. I'm going to ask, corporate to change. That's not going to happen. They're like, hey, no worries. I got you. Because they know your character. They know who you are. They know you're working hard, and you're not trying to be perfect. You're just trying to be present. And I'm telling you, there is power in presence. There really is. So that's all I got for you, because I only had 10 minutes. Brooke knew, she was wise, and she said, you can only talk for 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. But last thing I'll say, can I say one last thing, Brooke? Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Doesn't really matter, because I'm not going to mute myself. Here's the reality. You could be on any team. You could be in any company. You could be at any stage of your life right now, but you're who you are, with the gifts that you have, in the home that you live in, with the community that you've developed, on the team that you're placed in for a time such as this. You're not here by accident. There are no lone rangers on this team. You all need each other. And you will grow together as leaders when you accept the fact that I am here for something much, much greater. If I'm really honest, I know this is being recorded, much greater than just selling supplements. You could be at any team, but you're here. You're here for a purpose, and you're here for a reason. And the women that you see on this call right here, and particularly the two women in my top right-hand corner, Brooke and Emily, care about you more than I think you really realize. And so just know you're in a special place. And this is a special season for you. And what's coming in 2023, because I get to know a little bit, a few things, could be on advisory board. What's coming is going to blow your mind. You need to get ready, need to be ready, dream big, dream bigger than you've ever dreamed, dream to the point where it's out of your comfort zone, and look for the leaders that look like you, that are dedicated like you. Don't waste your time on people, okay, who are, I don't know, maybe, we'll see, I don't know. Don't worry about them. Just move on. They did you a favor, because they've just freed you up to go find somebody who's going to be dedicated like you. And you're going to run to the top. Okay. But you're here for a reason. You're on this team for a reason. Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it so much. I got to get to basketball practice. Take care, guys.
That was awesome. Thank you so much, Kyle. We appreciate you taking time out to speak with us about that. That was so good.
All right, ladies, take care.
Thank you. As somebody who, I would say, and most of us probably on this call here can relate to just like being accidental leaders, like not necessarily stepping into this because we wanted to be in leadership roles, but we found ourselves with a team and people looking up to us. I wish I had heard that and like been open to hearing that and really accepting that years ago in my business, you guys, because I feel like I dug my feet in the ground when it came to leadership, because I didn't choose it. So I didn't have to like delve into the leadership stuff, because that's not why I joined. I didn't join for that. And that's not what I was doing. So it's so special to be able to have him share that with you guys tonight, wherever you are in the season of your business. So you can really hear that and embrace that now. We don't have to be perfect. And I can tell you, like, there have been times where I just like, if I can't do it perfect, I'm just not going to show up at all. If I can't recognize every single person who's doing everything great, I'm not going to recognize anybody, because I don't want to hurt any feelings. And listen, your team just needs you to show up. They don't need you to be perfect. That was so good. I took so many notes, just knowing like, no matter where we are, we're doing our best. And he's right. Emily and I and the other leaders on here, we care about you guys so much. Okay, now I am going to transition over, and I wish I would have had him talk for the whole time, but I know that what Miranda has to share is super special too. And Miranda has a really unique and cool story. And this is why I asked her to share it with you guys, because I think you're really going to just benefit from hearing about how long she's actually been using these products before, but how long they've really been working for her. I have known Miranda, through, I don't know, I've just known her for a long time. She's like a jack of all trades. She does so many things, and she is a brand new senior silver ambassador working towards gold. And Miranda, I am going to have you go ahead and unmute yourself and share your story with us.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me. I got kind of emotional while he was talking, so I feel like I needed to say that out loud to release it, but then I think I need to ask for a few more minutes, because 10 minutes is already going to be tough enough, but no, just kidding. I mean, I believe everything happens for a reason, and with what I'm looking forward to sharing about, I mean, him speaking that like matches exactly, honestly, part of the heart of what I would share as a leader from a different company that I've been with, and where I believe, excuse me, my path is going right now. So my name's Miranda. I'm from Napoleon. Yes, like Brooke's from a small town. If you guys are from the Northwest Ohio area, you're familiar. If you're not, like, we're both from small towns. I knew a lot of her cousins and friends growing up, and I think by default, that's how we knew each other. So I knew of Brooke and followed her we were friends on Facebook, and I was in the midst of growing a really strong business of my own in a different company when I first reached out to Brooke. And I feel like I'm the textbook, all of the things of why I reached out to Brooke when I did. I was a mom of 3 kids in 3 years. And I had a lot of different things going on physically, emotionally, mentally. I had gained weight. I was actually kind of working with the doctors to try and figure out if like maybe I had hypothyroidism, and just all of the things were off. I was way off. So I decided I would use some of my Christmas money in December of 2017 to purchase my welcome pack. So I did, and it came, and I think it took me a few weeks to actually open it. I think I was telling her today when we were talking that it was in February that I finally started taking it. And I had really great results. I mean, I remember sending her the picture, like, oh my gosh, my belly has changed so much. The redness in my skin is going away. All of these positive things that you would think be like, oh, so you should keep taking your supplements. Well, I didn't. That was that next 3 years. And I talked to her like, there's a lot more story to share, but that next 3 years was very tumultuous for me, whether it be where I was at emotionally, mentally, where I was at financially, everything that was going on in my life. I didn't feel worthy. I didn't have the money. I didn't have the support. And it was easier, unfortunately, to not feel good and just deal with it than to like invest in myself in all those areas. I didn't have it in me, and I didn't have the belief to invest in myself in that time in those areas. But the good news is over those years, I did a lot of other work. And so I feel like during those years, I was really working to heal myself emotionally, mentally. I do have a lot of friends and family. I worked really hard with Bible studies, and I did a lot of leadership books and self-development books. I started using positive affirmations every single morning. I would stand in the mirror and I would say the things that I wanted to believe about myself. So I did a lot of work. I added a lot of tools to my personal toolbox. I'm like, how do I become the person I want to be? I don't want to feel like this forever. And so from December 2017 to this last spring, there were probably 4 times I think that I'm like, okay, I'm going to get it. I mean, I never talked to Brooke about it. I just would go in and order my products again and try again. And there'd be some reason I didn't stay consistent. My natural personality is not to be consistent in anything. But every time I did it, I felt good. And then something would pop up. So I have done a lot of healing over the last 2 years, especially. I would say from 2020 to early 2022. I really love myself now, and that's a really good feeling. But I just always felt like where I was at physically didn't match where I was at mentally now. And so I had done different eating programs, different workout programs, and I was like doing okay. But this spring, a lot of my physical symptoms were back. I had achy hands and feet. Like when I wake up in the morning, it was hard to move around. My skin was blotchy. I was like, I need to do this again. I need to decide that I am worth it. I am worth spending the money on. I am worth investing in myself by consistency. I'm worth finding accountability. Like, I'm going to do this. So I told my boyfriend, Aaron, I need help. I'm going to take these supplements, but you have to ask me every day if I took them. I know that sounds silly, especially because he is a type A person. It's like probably unfathomable to him that one would forget to just take these supplements. But he did. He asked me every day, did you take your supplements? And he stopped allowing me having excuses why I wouldn't do it. And then it was easier and easier every time I did. So I started that in May, and late April, all of May, I was finally consistent on my supplements. Like, so much was going well. Sorry if I get emotional. I had to have oral surgery, and this was part of my motivation also for trying to make myself feel better, because I knew after the oral surgery I was going to have to eat a bland, soft diet. So those were going to be all of the foods that didn't serve my body well. And so I was trying to prepare myself for that, so that I could come out of it and I would still take my supplements and I would still be positive and I would still be moving towards these goals. Unfortunately, I had a really adverse thing happen after my surgery, and I was unable to use the right side of my body. I was on a walker for 2 months and I had a whole new recovery and challenge ahead of me. And so thankfully, Aaron still said, like, you still want to feel your best, like, you still have to do this. And my family's amazing. And I have a strong faith and I have a big God that I serve. And I just told myself, like, I'm here for a reason. Like, this challenge is only going to make me stronger. And I know that now it's hard to be here, but on the other side, like, I want to have a story to tell. I want to do all this. In the meantime, in July then, or in June, I was on the flip side. My diet was back to normal. I wasn't feeling great, but I was feeling empowered because I just conquered a really big mountain. And I remember thinking, like, man, I was pretty fit. I was working out with a physical trainer before my surgery, and I couldn't do any of these things after my surgery. I could not even, I had to like work to walk again. And but I was like, I am going to do this. Like, I'm not going to sit back and just let life happen to me. Like, I'm going to take life by the reins and I'm going to get to be the self I wanted to be. And I was working towards, because I had done all that work. I'd used all those emotional tools. Like, I knew what I deserved. I knew who I could be. And I knew that I had the tools and the support to do it. But I just fell off. I had to eat that bland, soft diet. So I was praying about things and I literally was like, all right, God, like, I know I can do this, but I just wish that I could just hit the reset button. I just wish I could hit a reset button to where, like, now I feel like this, go for it, Miranda. And I'm not even kidding you. That next week is when I watched all of y'all that I follow on Facebook go to convention and say, we have this thing we're going to come back from convention with. And then everyone was talking about this reset that they were doing. Like, when that hit, like, I'm like shaking talking about it now. Like, I just sobbed because I'm like, I have no questions. I went and I ordered it because I literally prayed to hit the reset button. And so I did the reset in July and August and had very great results. And then summer life happened. I was still getting back physically. I have my own, I was going to introduce myself and I didn't, I got right into things, but I have my own meal prep business. So I stand in the kitchen to work. So that was a challenge in itself on both parts. I had to physically be able to do that again. And I had to move into this new season and have self-control around food. So, but I want to tell you, I'm doing great with it. That's why I'm here to talk about this. So, through summer, I gave myself grace. Like, you have a lot of adjustments to make, but you have these long-term goals that you're going to stick to. And so then I reached out to Brooke towards the end of summer and said, listen, I had really great results. I sent you the pictures. You saw them. I didn't share my first pictures at all, but I told her about it. And I said, here's the thing. I have a ton of tools. Like, I know how to be successful with a lot of things. I know what I need to do, but like, why am I still not doing it? And we had this discussion about a lot of women, how it's way easier to be accountable to someone else than to yourself. And so she suggested to me, like, what if she said, I know I'm waiting on you. When you want to share, you can share. I won't force you. But if you feel like you could be held accountable, like, you have a good network, you have a lot of people who support you. What if you just said out loud on Facebook, I'm not on Instagram yet, just on Facebook, but like, what if you told people that you wanted to have them join you or just them know you were doing it? So in October, I decided to, go public and everything. And so it has been such a blessing to me on two parts, because one, it has kept me accountable. I think since October, I think there's probably only like 3 days that I've missed any supplements. Aaron is really great at it, but now I have a lot of people talking to me about this. So I got to stay consistent, if not for me, for them, because I love serving people as well. Plus, at this point now, I am sharing. I think I have 7 people resetting with me this week. And so it's really fun to be there. But so what happened for me is, like, I decided to add reset into my toolbox, but then it's not just reset. It's like all of the supplements. I feel better. And when you feel better and you know better, you do better. And then you want other people to feel better and do better along with you. And then when you're sharing in life, and that was the last piece that I forgot to mention along the way that really got me emotional when Kyle mentioned that, was my reality has shifted a lot, where I used to live life very much in community with others. And that is a piece I had been missing also. And so in sharing to be accountable and get what I needed, I actually have loved connecting with people, and that fuels me on as well. So, that is part of why I started sharing more about it, but it's also why I feel like I'm finding success, because I am feeling empowered where I'm at from all of the tools that I've put into my toolbox. And so the reset has been huge for me. I now have done a reset in October. No, I didn't do it in October, November, December, and I'm doing one right now. I'm like the anomaly. I love the bone broth. I love the restore. I don't get hangry. Like I mean, I really believe, because it's what I prayed for. This is what God knew I needed this to be able to do all the other things. So I have, sorry, I got distracted because one of the things popped up that someone left, but, I've used the reset as a tool, but I've stayed consistent on my supplements. I'm probably down almost between 15 and 20 pounds since starting my supplements consistently. But then there's all of the other plethora of things that have been a blessing to me. My anxiety is lower, my focus is better, my sleep is better, and I just am better because of it. And I really believe that embracing the long term was really healthy as well. Like he also mentioned, he mentioned it showing up as a leader, but I was for myself. Like I can't be perfect. And so I have to allow myself the grace that I would give someone else if they were working on something. And I have to realize like this whole journey is going to have its up and downs. I mean, it took me 5 years to get where I'm at. And so much of me wishes that I could have had all of these tools then, but I had to go through what I did to get where I'm at now. And I guess in summary, the teacher in me or the sharer in me wants to be able to say, like, if you haven't had an issue with consistency, but maybe someone on your team or one of your potentials does, or if you have someone who is hesitant to say yes, like it's not just about the products or the cost. Like one of my biggest things I told Brooke in my story to share that I want to be able to share, and I would encourage others, is like we have to believe we're worth it. Like, and so even if you're encouraging people in that, or you need to be encouraged in that, like I wish I would have known then, like what I had to convince myself of, like I am worth the money, I am worth the effort, I am worth the vulnerability of telling people that I needed help, and to get to where I'm at. And then like sorry, I wanted to see how I wanted to say it down here. I wrote it down. Oh, and I deserve it. So now I'm worth it and I deserve it. But then the other thing is like, I have all these tools in my toolbox now, but one of the most empowering things is like, I'm one of those tools. Like I am the person who chose to ask for help. I am the person who sought accountability. I am the person who chose the reset. So while the supplements are great, like I'm also a tool, not only for myself, but also now, like I feel the privilege and responsibilities to make other people feel that way as well. So that's what I wanted to share with you tonight.
Can y'all just give her some words of affirmation in the comments? Because that was so good. If you haven't had a chance, they're already doing that, Miranda. They're already giving you lots of words of affirmations, because that was amazing and your story is amazing. And you guys, when we were talking about what Miranda was going to share tonight, those are the things she wanted like you guys to leave with is if you do struggle with consistency, like knowing that you're worth it and that you deserve it. And also I love that she's just like encouraging us and empowering us to make sure that we're talking to other people about that too. Can you guys see why I wanted Miranda to share tonight? Because she is so good at sharing and she has an amazing story. And I just appreciate you being so willing to be vulnerable and share that with us tonight, Miranda.
Nope, you muted yourself, Brooke.
Why did I do that? Anyways, thank you, Miranda, for sharing with us. Miranda has an even longer story, like that really goes through just the ups and downs that she's been through, and it's super powerful. And I know that someday she'll share more of that with you guys too. But if you're not following her on Facebook, go check her out, Miranda Perazzo, and look at her pictures from her resets and just how much she's changed. But it truly is a testament to like, we can have all the tools, but not be actually using the tools. But we are a tool also, and we have to value ourselves enough to do the things that we know we should be doing. And I feel like that goes for our physical health, for our mental health, and our businesses. Like we have to value ourselves, our worth, and know that we deserve it and we're worth it to be able to pull all those things together. An amazing story. And now I have to follow both of those people and talk to you guys about collagen, which just seems really blah, but I'm still going to do it anyways, because you need to know about collagen. So to be honest with you, I did not start using the collagen right away. I had tried it and I just like didn't love the taste of it or the flavor of it. And I decided to give it another go around when they released their limited edition berry flavor in September, and I have been loving it since then, secretly hoping that they bring it back out. But even if they don't, I'm going to keep using collagen, even the original flavor, after I run out of my berry, because of the changes that I've noticed since I started using it. Collagen, and I had to do my hair for you guys so that you could see, and if you haven't seen like my hair transformation, you can go look that up on my Facebook. But truly, like hair, skin, and nails are the main benefits of using a collagen. And what happens is our body naturally makes collagen, right? But as we get older, we break down the collagen faster than we replace it. And so that's why we need to start supplementing collagen, especially as we age. There are actually 28 different types of collagen, but types 1 and 3 are the ones that deal with hair, skin, and nails. And those are the types that you'll find in our collagen complex. So type 1 is for skin elasticity and wrinkles, and type 3 is basically type 1 sidekick, right? So those things help with the hair, skin, and nails. Some people might ask you if it has type 2 in it. Type 2 is for bones, joints, cartilage. It does not have type 2 in it. So this is like a beauty complex. It does not have the stuff in it for the hair, skin, and nails. But what it does have is 5 grams of bioavailable forms, type 1 and 3, wild caught, marine, and grass-fed bovine collagen. So basically what it's doing is it's working from the inside out to strengthen your dermal matrix and promote your collagen synthesis. So promote collagen being made within your body. The biotin is a vitamin, and a deficiency in that can actually cause thinning hair. So the biotin supports healthy hair, skin, and nails. Vitamin C and E are also in here, and those support cell function and skin health. It also has a prebiotic, the same prebiotics that are in our Joyum skin care system. And it has antioxidants, and those things are what make our collagen really unique, is that it has all that extra stuff in it as well. Another important fact about it is that it's hydrolyzed, which means that it's more easily absorbable. So if it said it was non-hydrolyzed, or if you look at collagen and find one that's non, that means that the peptides are larger, which means it's more difficult for your body to use that. So the fact that it's hydrolyzed is a good thing. It's bioavailable, which means it's in the best form for our body to be able to use. And it's working from the inside out. So it's doing 3 things. It's supporting skin structure from the collagen peptides. It's helping stimulate our body's natural collagen production. And then it's also protecting structural skin proteins, which reduce the collagen breakdown. So breaking that down for you guys, essentially what it's doing is it's increasing our collagen levels, but it's also decreasing their disassembly. So it's helping our body create more collagen and putting collagen in our bodies, but it's also helping our body stop the breakdown of collagen faster than we can make it. So it's helping both of those processes and both sides of that, with the skin supporting vitamins, with the antioxidants, and the fact that it's hydrolyzed. This is a really, really hot topic. If you're not talking about collagen, you should be. Not everybody cares about gut health, but pretty much everybody cares about their hair, skin, and nails, if we're being honest. And so this is something that you can take on its own. You can mix it into your Slim, you can mix it into your coffee, you can mix it into your shakes or your smoothies. Like this berry flavor, I'll drink it on its own. The original, I'll mix it into some of my other drinks and have it that way too. So it has lots of different ways that you can use it. It's good for guys and girls, you guys. It's good for everybody. Could it work as a prenatal? It is not a prenatal. We do have some other like multivitamins that we could talk about for sure as far as that goes, but this would not replace a prenatal. This would be good for anybody who's experiencing like postpartum hair loss from other illnesses that will not be named, all of those things. Yes, lots of people love collagen. So that's all I have to share about collagen, you guys. Get yourself some if you don't already have it. I feel like it's a really good price. Everybody's talking about collagen. A lot of people are using collagen. So if they're not using your collagen, that means you're not talking about it enough. We need to be talking about it more so people know that we are more than just gut health over here. So that's all. I want to respect your time. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Thank you to our speakers again, Kyle and Miranda. I so appreciate you guys getting on and sharing with us this evening. It just fills my cup to hear from other people and to have them speak belief into me and to us. So, all right, you guys, you have a good evening.